Welcome to today's webinar. This webinar is meant to be a brief overview of the HiShare franchise business opportunity. During the presentation, we'd like to encourage you to write your questions down as they come to you. This will allow you to get your questions answered by the person who sent you the link to this presentation. Our goal over the next few minutes is to provide you with enough information so you will be encouraged to get back to the person who sent you the link to this presentation. Topics we'll cover over the next few minutes includes the HiShare franchise business opportunity, our services and marketing strategy, financial benefits of a franchise purchase, and of course, next steps. Now, here are 4 important points about this great opportunity. The HiShare franchise is a startup technology company raising capital by selling franchises. Owning a HiShare franchise positions you to profit from the fastest growing segment of the technology sector, which is cloud computing or offsite data storage. Your investment risk is mitigated by your ability to write off or deduct certain expenses of the business against your income. And these deductions allow you to recover your investment capital through tax savings, create new cash flow, and at the same time retain ownership in your franchise. The mission of HiShare is to develop innovative encrypted cloud solutions that enable clients to share information securely and to collaborate more effectively. Now, I'm sure you would agree with me that thanks to incidents like the Apple iCloud security breach and many other well-publicized data breaches and government snooping exposed by Edward Snowden, the need for encrypted cloud backup and other forms of encrypted communication services could not be more timely. A HiShare franchise offers many services to small businesses and professionals. Here are just a few. Project Circle allows for a team to share information and collaborate using their private virtual room. Electronic Signature. This allows professionals to sign contracts without the need to print them and scan them back. Selective Sync. This feature gives you access to the most updated information stored on your computer at the office while you're on the go. And of course, Private Message. This feature allows you to communicate in absolute privacy using the same level of encryption as the banks. And so, at this point in the presentation, I would like to encourage you to visit pm.hishare.com, that's pm.hishare.com, right after the presentation, and register for a free account and start communicating in absolute privacy with friends, family, and business associates today. Now, this is an image of the HiShare private server. This would be delivered and installed at the purchaser's place of business. We call this HiShare private because with this server, the data gets encrypted before it's backed up to the cloud, so the data is truly private and for the client's eyes only. Now, at this point in the presentation, we'd like to discuss the target market for our services. We have 3 primary markets: the small business, professional and self-employed, and of course, professional and trade associations. And so, as you can see, between all 3 categories, we have well in excess of over 140 million potential users for all services being offered by your HiShare franchise. And so, at this point in the presentation, we would like to simply point out that the HiShare franchise business model is no different from that of Tim Hortons. This model allows you to buy a turnkey business and hire a manager to run the business on your behalf. And so at this point in the presentation, let's take a look at the numbers related to the purchase of a franchise. The cost of the franchise is $107,000, and in addition to that, you have the startup and marketing cost of $14,000. The franchisor will provide you a loan for the $107,000, and you will have to pay the $14,000 of startup and marketing cost, along with $14,000 of prepaid interest, for a total of $28,000 over 3 years. So your out-of-pocket cost will only be the $28,000 over 3 years. In year 1, you will pay $10,000, year 2, $9,000, and in year 3, an additional $9,000. And now it is important to stress, over the same 3-year period, you will have expenses of just over $111,000 that you'll be able to write off against your income, and this will put you into a positive cash flow situation immediately. Now, we'd like to encourage you to get back to the person who sent you this presentation to find out the various options available with respect to the repayment of the loan. And so, at this point, we'd like to point out a few important things that we think you need to remember about this great opportunity. Number one, the Highshare franchise is truly an amazing business opportunity. It positions you to profit from the fastest growing segment of the technology industry. Number two, it gives you immediate tax deductions, which helps to minimize your investment risk. And number three, this is a great cash flow opportunity, creating over $35,000 of new cash flow in the first 2 years. In addition to that, the Highshare business offers the small business community great products and services such as backup, sharing, recovery, electronic signature, and of course, private message, and much, much more. And now, at this point in the presentation, we'd like to take a look at the financial projections of a single franchise purchase. And so before we conclude today's presentation, let's recap the numbers. Now, keep in mind that the numbers are reflective of Ontario tax rates. So depending on your province and income, the numbers will vary slightly. At this time, we'd like to bring your attention to the green cells, because it's important for us to stress there is a real expectation of profit beginning in year 4. Now, these revenue projections are very realistic, as we will continue to add new services offered to our target market in each territory. As you can see, over the first 10 years, your franchise is projected to generate over $160,000 in revenue. Now, we'd also like to point out there is an immediate tax impact from the $111,000 of expenses you can write off that will generate over $35,000 of new cash flow in the first 2 years. And so, as our presentation comes to a close, we'd like to thank you for spending the past few minutes with us to learn about this incredible opportunity to purchase a turnkey business and create short-term as well as long-term cash flow. Now, due to the fact that there are a limited number of franchises, we encourage you to get back to the person who invited you to this presentation to get all your questions answered and become a proud owner of a Highshare franchise today, and put yourself on the path to creating cash flow by profiting from the fastest growing segment of the technology industry. And thank you for your interest in the Highshare franchise business opportunity, and have a profitable day.